Hello everyone, I'm happy to meet with you again for a tutorial. This time is one that was asked a lot in the team and in all the practitioners. So here we go. HEALY actually left us the opportunity to go much deeper than simply the frequency programs that they created after all these years of research. And this would be only available in the Aura module. So if you have the HEALY Aura, HEALY Resonance, or HEALY Professional, or if you have an edition below and you subscribe to the Aura module, you will be able to do all of this. So let's remind ourselves how it works. The HEALY is capable of tuning into the quantum field and more specifically the information field of one person or one entity, one animal, one plant, one place. So it's the total unit of consciousness that exists in another plane called the information field. So today I'm going to show you how you can create your own custom programs and how you can really start to play with the infinite potential of the quantum field and of reprogramming yourself with your understanding, with your education, with your feeling in order to create more coherence with everything around you. All right, so we're going to open the HEALY Analysis app, which is the one where we can scan into the quantum field. So you turn on your HEALY, you're going to see the screen appear. I'm going to put it in English for this tutorial. There we go. All right, so you saw in another video how to create a profile. So you can create the profile for a human, an animal, a plant, a room, also a company, an organization. So I'm going to explain to you how it works. First, how to access that functionality, and then I already prepared some examples, because we really need some examples in order to show people how we can play with all of this. And I'm also going to show you how we can record the morphogenetic field, meaning the entire set of frequencies associated to, for example, a crystal, a place, or a symbol, and vibrate, emanate this information into your own field or the field of the object. Great, so first, how to access the functionality. You would go into the Aura Analysis module, you would select the subject on which you want to work. So let's say right now it's myself. Here you can do like we saw in the Aura video, meaning you can scan your chakras and understand a message there to work on, or you can just not focus and you won't read the message. You just want to access a blank page. So right now I'm not going to focus. If the HEALY disconnects, that's always the case when you are taking a picture for an object or a profile, like I did right before, then you will need to reconnect. So just remember, it's not a glitch, it's normal, it's for security purposes. When you change apps, it will disconnect the device. And then there we go, we have a certain profile right now. I'm not gonna go into the details, you just select any chakra, so let's say the root. Here you don't focus on an intention if you just want to go and access your field. So I don't have to interpret the module, the result. And here what I see when I go down is that there's a little red cross. And here you can delete the messages of the scan. So I'm gonna delete the 3 that are appearing. And there we go. I am accessing now a blank page on my information field. So that's where it gets interesting, because when you go into action and add manually, you access the template for creating a program yourself. So that's where we're going to play. You have the desired state and the desired state description, which is where you're going to tune in what program you want to work with. So it will be in the present and in the positive tense, of course, like when we do work with mantra and reprogramming the subconscious. And those are the only fields that we're going to complete, the present state and the present state description, unless you know exactly what program you're working on, because you analyze yourself or your client and you know exactly what is the root program that is not serving the person, you leave it blank. Relevance is always 100% because you created yourself, so it's exactly that. result that you want to achieve. And intensity, we will go and probably put it at 10, or if it's too strong, especially if you add a crystal or you add a symbol, you put it lower. So you have to tune and feel what is right for you. And then you have the add symbol at the bottom. And that's the most interesting, because when I click there, it gives me the possibility to add an image or to add a vibration. And you can put several images and several vibrations. And what it's going to do is that it's going to take the program that you put in the desired state, and I'm going to take an example right after, and then when it's going to rewrite this information into your field, it will add the morphogenetic field, so all the information of the vibrations and the image you recorded. All right, so let's take an example. I'm going to go in my list that I prepared already, and I'm going to go into this one. So let's say I want to focus and I want to work on my self-confidence, on my self-esteem, because I identified that I need to work on it, for example, and I tune into what is the right program for me, what is going to work. You can take one that is from someone else that gave it to you or one you found online, but the best is that you meditate and you tune in and you find the perfect program that if this was inserted into your being, then it would resolve your issue. So let's say here, I put, for the sake of the example, in the desired state, I fully believe in myself and I trust the flow of life. So that would be if I'm working with self-confidence and self-esteem and I'm not fully trusting myself, and I want to trust more how life flows and control less and co-create more with the natural happenings of things. So let's say that's perfect for me. And in the description, I'm going to put more details on how I want this energy to be manifested, to be given to me, to be reprogrammed. So for example, I put, I trust in my abilities to educate people about energetic systems and models. I am fully anchored in the present moment. I believe in myself and my positive impact in the world. Because of course, if you don't have that, then you're not going to have a great self-esteem about what you're doing. And my solar plexus is expanded, stable, and shining in a brilliant yellow sun color. Because self-confidence, self-esteem, and when you need inner power, it works with this chakra, so you can put that it radiates and it's expanding in your solar plexus. And then, let's say I work with crystals, and I know that this crystal, citrine, is good for the solar plexus and for self-confidence. So what I want to do is that I want to add the signature, the energy, so all the frequencies that exist in this gift of nature. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to press record vibration with the plus. It's telling me put the HEALY where you want to record the vibration. So I'm going to put the crystal on top of the HEALY. And then I'm going to focus as the operator of the machine on recording the pure vibration of this crystal. And then I press record. Now it's finished, and as you can see on the screen, you don't need to do anything more. You don't click on it, you don't do anything with it. It's directly recorded. If you want to delete it, you click delete, and then you record something else. If you're happy with how you focused for these 5 or 6 seconds, you are stable and grounded, and you're happy, you just leave it like this. And now we're gonna press on the little cross on the top right to just exit the screen and come back here to my program. So here I have my program, and when I go down in add symbol, I see my vibration. So that's great. Now I'm going to click on the top right again on the validation button, and that's it. I'm back to my page. I have my program, and inside, behind this vibration, is the morphogenetic field of this crystal. So the entire set of frequencies that this crystal can help with for harmonizing energy. And now I'm going to be able to reprogram my field. So I'm going to click on vibrate. I'm going to choose a time. You're going to have to choose your own intuition, what is right for you. Usually it's good to do, let's say, at least 2 minutes or 5 minutes in order to really let the time for the energy to go inside your energetic anatomy and start to reprogram. Better to ask your intuition, to ask with the pendulum, how much vibration do I need for this program in my being now. So let's say, just for the example, I put 17 seconds. I just click start, and then I have the mental position of I am open to let this vibration reprogram me. So you just fully go into receptive mode, allowing, authorizing the process. And if you're sensitive enough, you can feel the vibration somewhere in your subtle feelings, maybe around the brain, the pineal gland, maybe around the solar plexus. And that's it. So that was the first example. Now let's go to give you more ideas on how to play with this exciting functionality. So let's say I want to work with my dogs, because that's something that happened in the past weeks. My dogs were going a little bit crazy, and they were eating cushions on the sofa when we were not there. They were also taking sacred objects on the altar and destroying it. So I tuned in and I say, okay, I yell at them in the way that I think is appropriate, so that they understand something is inappropriate, and put them in the cage just so that they can integrate what is happening. And then I make this program and I vibrate to them for example, 15 minutes. And for the animals, they have less of a mental plane, so they integrate much more the pure information. So here I made two programs for this particular case. The first one is I comprehend and integrate why my human caretakers are upset with me. And then in more details, I want them to understand I comprehend and integrate that it is inappropriate for me to jump on the couch, to destroy human objects and furniture, and energetically charged bird feathers, because 2 times they destroyed the sacred feathers on the altar. And then I made a second one, because I want them to actually improve and grow, because animals, they are another state of consciousness on the global evolution, and they are able actually to improve themselves. And I've read that they're also the last stage of the animal realm before they go into the human realm, the pets, because they are more having the idea of an individuality, and they're connecting more with third density consciousness. So I put this. I transmute my instinctual reflexes into discerning behavior. I recall which behaviors and actions are considered inappropriate by my caretakers, and I choose otherwise, so that they have this click, on the moment where they want to do something. They remember last time they did, it was not beneficial for them. I connect and align to the wisdom of my spirit essence, or let's say their soul, and I adapt my behavior towards more responsibility and maturity. I receive more love from my caretakers when I use discernment in my actions. So it's a little bit more of a complex one, but that's how I work, and I wanted to show you also how we can go a little bit more in specific details. And then I would vibrate this to them as long as I feel that it's right, and you have to do it for several days so that the information has time, like when you go to the gym, to integrate. And I did that already some time ago, and it worked. And each time I work with my dogs actually with a program that is correct for exactly what they're going through, it worked. All right, so let's take another example. Let's say that I want to work with power places. So I went to Egypt about 8 months ago, and I had my HEALY. So I went to temples, and we were lucky because of the pandemic. We had the whole temple for us. So in one moment, in the Isis temple, we could actually be alone in the center chamber where all the rituals and the ceremonies were made. So it's a very powerful spot that contains the morphogenetic field and the frequencies of what has been happening there for thousands of years. So it was in the Isis temple in the south of Egypt, in Philae. So I went and I scanned my field, I removed the message, and then I went into add symbol, and I put the HEALY on top of the altar, and I focused on recording the pure vibration of this place. And then later on, for example, when I feel that it's right, I can go and edit what program I want to be associated with this frequency. So here, for example, I felt that this temple was working a lot with balancing the energies. So I'm gonna want to work on this specific program. So we can read it here. My density 1 and density 2 subtle bodies are balanced in the most powerful and adequate way for me now. So that's the program asking that there is a balancing of my energies in a certain level of my multidimensional anatomy. So my first 6 energetic bodies, density 1 and 2. And then I want to put more details. So first, this temple was under the guardianship of Isis as an ascended master, as a goddess, and her consciousness does exist in the information field. So when I go and I connect to that place, even if I'm here in another part of the world, the Healy will connect the vibration of the recorded place. Because I work with spiritual guidance like this, I will start with, I humbly ask for permission and for support of Isis for my healing process, in order to get the authorization level to connect with the temple, with the sacred energies there. And then I receive and integrate the energetic balancing appropriate for my systems now, because you choose how you want the energy to come. It can be more strong, more gentle, more quick. You need to put the intention of how you want this energetic work to happen. And then I put more details also to give you some ideas on how you can work in very advanced ways. The energy moves from the center of the planet Earth into the relevant health grid of the temple, infuses through my Merkaba structure, my DNA template, the axiom line network, my auric field, my chakra system, my meridian lines, and into my physical DNA. So that's a little bit more advanced. It's called the transduction sequence, and it's how information actually descends from the higher vibrational planes, the light, into physicality. So I want this program to accompany the movement of energy through the earth into the temple and then into my structure in the right sequence. And then if I go in and I go in add symbol, I will see the 2 holy grail that I got, those 2 vibrations from the temple that now will be always recorded in my cloud. So I can go keep them and change the program if I want to work in a different way. So I recorded it at 2 different spots. And now what would happen if I just vibrate this for some time is gonna take the program that I created, so the program of balancing of my energies, but it's gonna attach what information, what frequencies, the ones coming from the temple there, from actually this sacred center point. And then if I focus, I can really feel it, because normally when you work with bigger fields, like a power spot, there's much more intensity of the frequency, especially if your program is right, is going through your structure. Then I can work with this. I do it quite often. I liked a lot this temple. All right, last example now. I'm gonna work with a brand, so a company. So for example, let's work with my brand, resonance frequencies. You can do it with a company, if you're an entrepreneur, or a group, an association, a non-profit organization, whatever. It is also a unit of consciousness that the employees and the customers connect to. So you can work on it in the quantum field. Now it gets exciting. So just for the sake of this example, I'm gonna work on radiance. The fact that I want the brand, when somebody connects to the logo, to be shining. So the desired state will be the brand called resonance frequencies is radiating uplifting energies. And of course in the profile, I created a profile for a group, for an organization. The brand awakens interest and curiosity and inspires trust. The message and purpose of the brand is exciting and clear. The employees are proud to belong to the brand. And then you could attach something that you want with it. So here I'm working on radiance, so I'm gonna put a picture of the sun. I found a nice golden picture. So whatever the sun morphogenetic field represents and can be used in shining or radiating, uplifting energies, it will be attached to this program. Now we start to play with interesting stuff. So I'm gonna put power 10, and then I'm just gonna vibrate this. And here I don't need to focus on anything in particular, because it's the Healy that will directly take the program I created and rewrite the code of my brand, wherever it exists in the multidimensional information field. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give you one last example that I didn't prepare, but it's an idea for you to play with. For example, you're working with a book. For example, this book, the Sophia Code, which is super amazing. If you want to integrate more the teachings and the activation of a book, what you would do is that you would scan your field, and then you would, in add symbol, record, focusing on the knowledge and the activation of the book. And then you would create a program. For example, I integrate in the most appropriate way for me the activation and the knowledge of this book. And then you would vibrate that during your meditation or after you read it or several times during the day. And it would actually help you to tune into the teachings and the energies of that book and bring them into your field, into integration. So I hope I covered what you guys expected to understand more as a part of a tutorial on how we can use it in a much more advanced way. And of course, you will see if you're already practicing some healing arts or any kind of holistic therapy, that Healy is a great complement to any session, hypnotherapy, or work with someone, so that they can continue the integration and the reprogrammation of their own field, and thus leading to more empowerment of the people with their own health, which is a very exciting topic for me. Thank you.